How are we doing today, Eagles? I'm Sydney Wangoho.
And I'm Cara Carell, and welcome to the Diablos Media Podcast, Cal State LA's very own talk show.
That is right. Every week, we will bring you deep-cut conversations and a chance to get familiar with the personalities here on campus that make up our Cal State LA community, staff, and students.
And let's be real, since Cal State LA is a commuter school, it can be hard sometimes to meet people and build real connections. You might chat with someone in class and never see them again, or completely miss out on a fun campus event just simply because you didn't know it was happening.
Exactly. So, to help us stay in the loop of all the fun things happening here on campus, we're joined with Heidy, one of our campus event coordinators who works closely behind the scenes, keeping everything lively for us students. Thank you so much for being here today, Heidy.
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you both for inviting me here today. My name is Heidy. I'm one of the student engagement coordinators at the Center for Student Involvement. Oftentimes we collaborate with different departments, and I'm looking forward to providing any information.
We appreciate all your hard work. I actually just found out that you guys are doing a lovely event today here on campus. Can you tell us a little bit what's happening, what you guys have planned for today?
So today we have our Cupid social event. In collaboration with our Student Health Center Department and Associated Students, Inc. For example, we're having different activities, such as an activity is called art therapy. We're also having an STD truck available for students to go. We understand that sometimes it's not accessible for students. We're also having lube tasting, as you know, students are curious.
You guys got lube tasting?
Yeah, so if you guys want to check it out, I would definitely recommend going. And we also have like different DIY activities and treats, of course, for our students. But yeah, it's from 1 to 4, so definitely check it out.
Okay, first of all, I didn't even know that like lube tasting was like a thing. But also, I just didn't know any information about this event that was happening on campus. For other students to be in the loop and like stay engaged, where should students be checking for this sort of information for the events going on?
I would definitely recommend our main website. It's called The Nest. It's on usually. It'll redirect them to a page called Presence, which was our formal page, but now it's called The Nest. Within that page, we have different campus departments post their events, so it's often like up to date. Our student organizations also post their events there with their meeting times usually and email contact if a student is interested in joining a student organization. I would also recommend checking out our social media, specifically our Instagram. We usually post like monthly calendars of all of our events that we're having. We also usually try to stay up to date on posting like 2 weeks ahead of our events just so students are aware. But yeah, definitely our social media and our main website.
You can totally plug in the Instagram too. What's the Instagram?
CSI Cal State LA.
Very nice, very nice.
From your perspective as an event coordinator, why is student engagement so important, and how does it provide overall student experience?
I believe students are essential of this campus. They are literally the life of this campus. Without students, we would not be a running department at all. This also includes our other departments. We want to create a community where students are able to come in, have fun, de-stress from their studies. It's important for them to also take care of themselves. So oftentimes, like our events, we want to provide the best for our students. We try to like learn from them. If they have any feedback, oftentimes on our social media, we provide like a Microsoft form where they can provide their insight, feedback. But yeah, usually they make up like all the attendance of all the events. But yeah.
And for the feedback, they can provide that after they've attended an event, just to kind of say like what they got from the event.
Yeah, oftentimes we'll either post it on our social media or we'll send a follow-up email like, hey, thanks for coming to our event. What's something that we can work on? And then oftentimes that's how we get our feedback.
Yeah. You mentioned something that students are like the life of the campus, and I totally agree with you. I wanted to ask, have you seen any moments where there was an event that made a long-lasting impression on a student that you kind of saw, or like a certain moment that stuck with you since you've been working, with the student event coordination?
Honestly, I would say Harvest Festival was like one of the events that I like saw a lot of students come together, and it was so amazing to see, especially seeing like not only them interacting with other peers that they didn't know, but also interacting like with the staff. Oftentimes our staff is also very like friendly, so it was great to see them like come together, like talking about different things, especially like Harvest Festival is like about Halloween, so talking about like scary movies, I'm like, I would not talk about that, but like good for them to talking like to other students about it. But yeah, I think that was like a great event for students to come together, and they also invited the school community to come together, so we saw a lot of professors come with their kids, and it was really cool.
That's really nice. I'm also really curious, how long have you been working as an event student coordinator?
I just hit a year actually this past January.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm like still learning. It's a learning process still for me, but I'm like very excited to keep like doing the work that I'm doing.
What would you say are like the positives and maybe challenges that you kind of like are dealing with as you are trying to make sure that the students know about what's happening and stuff like that in your first year? How would you describe, or how would you rate it?
I think some of the challenges is getting to know what our students are interested in. Oftentimes we do have events that we might think are cool, but we don't know if the students are. So we try to like work around that by creating like forms on our social media, specifically like posts like, oh, like what would you like to see? Oftentimes our student assistants also help us out with that. They are actually like the backbone of like most of the ideas that we have at the Center for Student Involvement. So shout out to our student assistants. But overall, I think it's just trying to get to know the students a little bit more, and when they come to our events, like hearing their thoughts on like what they would like to see.
And can you tell us what we can expect for the spring semester as far as the events that you guys have lined up, and how you kind of tailor that to accommodate students on campus?
So, for example, oftentimes when we post our events, we try, if any students need any accommodations, we do let them know like via our post, or when we send out an email to let us know at least like within like 10 business days in advance, just to make sure that we have the proper accommodations. But oftentimes we do work with other departments in order to have any like backup accommodations if any students need it the day of. Some of our events that we're having this spring semester, we're actually bringing back our Golden Eagle 3K. It hasn't been done since 2018. So if you guys are interested in running, you guys should check it out.
Oh, I don't run for the life of me, but...
Well, maybe you know someone, yeah. Yeah, we're actually bringing it back. So it'll start off at the USU Plaza, and it'll go around the campus. And then at the end of the race, they'll be able to get a medal and a shirt. So yeah,
that's so fun.
And some of our other events that are coming up, oh my god, there's like so many. I'm like, whoa. We're also having our DIY series that's been pretty persistent. This semester, we're actually collaborating with the Student Health Center and Housing and Residential Life. We'll be having different stations for that. It'll be from 12 to 2 p.m. So if you guys want to go, I'll see you guys there. But some other events, we're also having our EdiFest, which is like our annual event. It's usually taking place in around the end of April. I believe that's the same for this year as well. Yes, the end of April. But for some of our other events, I'm low-key blanking out. But that's why you guys should check out the Nest. All of our events are there, not only for the Center for Student Involvement, but the other campus departments.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot to keep track of. But it all sounds really, really fun. I mean, I really want to check out the one today. I saw the posters for it and everything. I'm wondering, if a student was curious about curating their own sort of event and they wanted to come up to you, how would what are the steps in order to make that happen?
So oftentimes, in order for students to have their own event, they do have to be part of a recognized student organization. For a student organization to have like their own event, first they need to get into the process of being recognized here on campus. If they're already recognized, usually they would submit a event registration form on our website, The Nest, and then from there they would work with, once the event is approved, they would work with our reservations team, and they'll help them out like with the setup of where they want it. But it just also depends on the location of the event too.
What do you mean by recognized, for those who are unfamiliar?
Oh yeah. So for example, if you're new to CSULA, or if you're a returning student and you check out the list of student organizations and there's no student organizations that you're particularly interested in, but you want to start your own, oftentimes you just need to have 5 members, including yourself, with different student officers as well. And then from there, we can help you out on like how to get recognized, and then you can start your own meetings, and yeah, it's pretty cool actually.
Nice. And then from then on, you guys would be the point of contact where those student-led organizations can retrieve like resources and stuff like that in order to
Yeah, and then also ASI also helps out with club banking. So if a student organization is interested in having like funds for any events, they would contact them for that.
Very nice.
That's really cool. And to wrap up, if there's one piece of advice that you can give a student who just feels a little disconnected with campus life, what would it be?
I would definitely recommend coming to our events, checking out like our social media. I know oftentimes it seems a little intimidating, but oftentimes everyone is very friendly. Even if like there's like a little section where everyone's sitting, you can like, hey, like, can I sit there? And then oftentimes people are like more than welcoming. And they're like, yeah. And then oftentimes students connect in that way. So I would recommend definitely checking out our social media just because we have a very consistent presence on there, and checking out the Nest as well. Oftentimes different campus departments and student organizations post all of their events there, so definitely checking it out.
One more time, you can totally plug in that Instagram.
Follow us again. CSI Cal State LA.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Heidy. We really appreciate your time. And this has been the first episode of the Diablos Media podcast. I'm Sydney Wangoho.
And I'm Cara Carell.
And we will see you next time.